ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Kaisserreich, or at least the better version of Kaisserreich. Ah, man, I've tried Hearts of Iron 4 Kaisserreich. I just can't get over Hearts of Iron 4, my god. It just does not sit right with me. I just do not enjoy it, really. I don't know. Anyway, so, we are playing Kaisserreich the Darkest Hour. Now, I have never actually played the German Empire, and I think we should. It's an interesting, well, it's the interesting nation, the main protagonist. Let's take a look. Hard and aggressive. We'll go with normal. I'm not entirely sure how the mod is balanced. Actually, we'll go with hard then. Well, let's have a little bit of a challenge then, shall we? Okay, auto-save once every 10 months. Have it every 5 months. Just 3 months usually, my finger. So start. Okay. So, we are the victors of the Weltkreig. Let's see what world we inherit. Now, we are going to have to use a lot of money. I have played Germany before, like, as a solo game, but never on camera, never that long really. Only like maybe 1 or 2 years. Okay, let's take a look at the victor of the Weltkrieg. So, we have Germany's borders over here. We have Alsace, or is it Alsace-Lotharingen? Well, anyway, Alsace-Lorraine. No. We do have a puppet as Flanders Wallonia. The Netherlands is not entirely pissed off for us, but doesn't particularly like us. We do have the Austrians to the south. Their empire has somewhat been dissolved. It's still there in principle, but not really in form. Okay, Ukraine. I really do want to try and keep the Ukraine. That's a big nation, and I do want them. Some nice resources down here too, I believe. Decent resources, a lot of metal there. Yeah. Energy. Do we have any oil here? No. We do have a lot of rares. Well, a few rares. But yeah, 181 metal, that's pretty good. That's really good, actually. So, we have the Commune of France, the Syndicus. We have the Union of Britain. Canada. United States of America. We do have our puppet over here, Middle Africa, which is headed by Hermann Göring. We do have our colonies over here. We do have German China, which is pretty awesome. And we do have a bunch of colonies. Obviously the German colonies from previously, and then a mesh of the British and French colonies into a giant colony. We do have Morocco, sweet. Malta. Malta's quite important. Crete as well. The Suez. Ideally we could try to get control of Gibraltar somehow. If I could get that, we could control the Mediterranean completely. But yes, we start off in a difficult situation. Our economy is in the tank. So Right, we do have the Graf Zeppelin being worked on here. We should have a huge navy. Let's go to statistics. Statistics. There we go. Man, where are you? There we go. So we have 93 divisions, 164 ships, and 21 squadrons of aircraft. A pretty decently sized military. Okay, so what do we first need to do is think about defense. Now, of course, we do have the rough terrain over here to really help shield us. It's more like Flanders Wallonia, that is the big chink in our armor. It's plains here. And yeah. There's some fortifications, there's level 2 here. What I may in fact do is sacrifice Bruges. Yeah, Bruges is not in fact a VP. So if I sacrifice that, then we do gain the added benefit of having the river over here to protect us, and then we can hold on to these provinces. However, I'm then having to hold on to... We are then having to hold on to 2 more provinces, but then again, it's only like this province anyway, as we do have to cover this one. So I'll sacrifice that one, so we begin to move our men. Okay. Cavalry. Okay, it's going to be a lot of reorganization. get things moving in a nutshell. Right, let's bring the infantry over here to Luxembourg. I will keep these motorized in Berlin for the time being. Okay. So, production not really going ahead. Let's just see technology. So start with, obviously, production. Just get things rolling. We do need that bonus. Oh, then again, do we need that bonus, or do I want to actually focus on other technologies to begin with? I think I'm going to focus on other technologies, now that I think about it. I always start with industry, but honestly, I think I could do better elsewhere now. Get a lot of technologies, a lot of doctrine, that sort of thing. That's what we're going to be needing. There's not long for us to build up the industry, so it's not going to make a huge difference. But things like this will make a difference. Secret weapons. Aircraft. Interceptors 1937. Would be quite handy to have there. Carrier air groups, we could do with that for sure. Upgrade our fleet. Okay. Air doctrine. Naval doctrine. Land doctrine. Land doctrine, we don't really have much of a choice at the moment, so we can leave it as is. However, air doctrine is something very important. That's a few years away. Battlefield interdiction. Strategic destruction. Where's rockets? Rockets. I forget. Right, so we've already got experimental rocketry. We just need to unlock the actual secret research. But anyway, we'll have radar sites, and I can build up radar. That should help our air forces out considerably. And then at least we can keep our skies clear. We can start to project air power. So that's technology. Right. I know there's a long setup here, but I'm basically making sure of things. Right, so we do have some ships over here. Obviously... Now, start off with 70 in cash, that's not a lot. Okay, so we do have a few forces over here. We do have a main fleet over here. Blumenthal. That's it, Blumenthal. SS, is it SS Blumenthal? SMS Blumenthal. Righto. Now the Queen Empire is going to be a pain in the arse, and I do want to see them destroyed and us retain control of our puppet here. It's a really nice... Actually, there's not that much in the way of resources, but hey, still makes a difference. So let's take a look at the diplomatic map mode. So obviously we have our puppets over here. Though we do not have many allies. We do not even have an alliance with the Austrians. A few colonies out and around here. Mainly Madagascar. Pretty large colony there. We don't even have an alliance with our puppet over here. So what we need to do then is make alliances. And we're going to need money for that. Cash money. Right, we should put some infantry into production. Yes, we do need them. Whatever happens, we need more men. No matter what, we need more men. And we're going to turn off... oh, do I turn off reinforcement? I think I'm going to leave reinforcement on, and then at least if war does come, then we will be ready. Righto. So we do have a lot of convoys. Let's get on with things then. Big setup there. Treaty with Ireland. So we want to go towards centralized planning, I think. That will increase our... then again, I go to free market. I could go to Hawk Lobby. That reduces the production time and cost, which is quite important. So we're looking at 4.8 I see here. The first one, 10th of September. Looking at... Oh, that'll probably change in a moment. Yeah, that should probably change. Okay. So we need money. And I need alliances. We can get alliances with Austria and the Ottomans if we persist. Okay, Constitution of the German Reich. Signed in 1871 after the crushing defeat of the Second French Empire by the forces of the North German Federation between representatives of the North German Federation and the four southern German states. This constitution was a cornerstone for enlarging North German Federation, thus giving the enlarged entity a new identity as the Deutsche Reich. According to the constitution, head of state or a president of confederation, bearing the title of German Emperor, is the King of Prussia, as the president of the Bundesrat, the council of representatives of the German states. The Emperor installs the Chancellor, the head of government. Laws are enacted by the Bundesrat and the Reichstag. The Imperial Diet, elected by male Germans above the age of 21 years. However, it is Emperor, not Bundesrat or Reichstag, who holds the power of the German Empire. With an option to dissolve the Reichstag when he wishes so, it is clear that the main political power in the German Empire rests not in the Reichstag as ultimate expression of people's will, but in the hands of an unelected German Emperor. Okay. Let's take a look at our air forces then. We namely need to concentrate our air forces. That's how they're going to be strong. Otherwise we are going to suffer. That's a large air base. I'm thankful for that one. Okay. Right, your base in Suez, but I want you in Germany just in case. Okay. We do have direct control over our puppets here. I really dislike having military control of the puppets. It's just, I'd rather them control their units. They fill in gaps in the line, and it just makes it easy on me. It's hard enough to control your own troops in a big war. Okay. 74 funds. Okay, they arrived. There we go. So we do have the option for the Treaty of Ireland soon. Black Monday will hit us very soon. So we need to be ready. Actually, has that affected them? Yeah, 4.5, so that's saved as 0.3 IC. Doesn't sound like much, but when you consider that's like quite a bit of IC over the long haul. Right, the Kaisserreich Marine stands as the strongest navy in the world in the year 1936, but many challenges will face it in the coming years. The expansionist Empire of Japan and the resurgent Commune of France both are key future enemies to unseat the German naval superiority across the world. Today, the Kaiser faces a decision in the early days of 1936, whether to continue the naval construction plan started in 1934, limit it or cease it altogether, with various political ramifications as well as military ones. The Liberals be damned, continue with the construction as planned. The Liberals be damned. Now this gives me an opportunity to issue currency, and actually have a reason to do it as well. So that gives us 105 funds, and now we're going to try and bring some members to the Alliance. Right. It's going to be harder, but it will be done. Need to work on our influence. Oh, we've got 1,000 funds there. Okay, that's a lot more than I actually expected. Oh dear. Right, so we need to work on our former Central Power allies. But you can see they are quite open to be influenced. We should be able to get Poland, actually. Yeah, there's a good chance of getting Poland. So I'll influence Poland just to make that chance a little bit higher. Having Poland will be quite nice, having them in the Central Powers. Right, there we go. Theoretical weapons. Sweet. Okay, totalism is announced to the world. After Oswald Mosley's meeting with other leftist leaders, it has been agreed that Maximism, Sorelianism, and National Syndicism all share basic principles of state-controlled economies, the total involvement of the state in internal affairs, and the importance of the state in preserving socialism. This belief in totalitarian socialism has been abbreviated to totalism. For this reason, the leaders of the faction present have all signed a document entitled the Totalist Charter. Interesting. I've actually ordered a book on Oswald Mosley. He's going to be a very interesting subject to read up on. Basically, the leader of the British Union of Fascists. in the 30s to the 1940 when the party was banned. Very interesting. Ba-da-da-da. I see. So we need to have defensive generals, really. Need to concentrate our strength over this end. I don't think they're going to be as likely to attack this end. We can use the cavalry as reserve forces. Motorized as well. Right, more forces over here to be sent. I could do with covering my ports over here. Okay, 39. Damn. 6. 1 at the moment. You can see how we can influence them. I mean, we are sacrificing industrial efficiency, but the thing is, if I can gain these allies, then that's going to be incredibly important. There is the Italian Federation here. Hopefully they can come onto a path that is loyal to us, or at least somewhat beneficial to us. Right, payment of the Brest-Litovsk reparations. With the stagnation of our economy and the worsening conditions of our citizens during the year 1935, our government has decided that in order to restart our economy, we need an additional cash. Only available option how to amass sufficient capital to help our economy was to force Russian state to prematurely repay remaining reparations from the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. During Berlin Conference in 1935, President Alexander Kerensky, together with Prime Minister Pavel Belukov, were forced to accept premature payment of the Brest-Litovsk reparations with drastic austerity measures. Okay. So we lose some descent, we gain a little bit of efficiency back, and we gain 700 cash. Really nice. There's actually an event chain where Russia does join the Central Powers, which is rather interesting. And I'd really like that. I'm pretty scared of what could happen with Russia. That's the wild card. We know what's going to happen over here, we do not know what's going to happen with the Russian state. Black Monday. On the 3rd of February 1936, the Berlin Stock Exchange stopped sinking. Oh, stopped. Sinking? What? It plunged. Fueled by the beginning instability of the market, panic selling erupted as soon as the stock market opened on the 3rd after the weekend. It took well into the night for the teleprint to stop sputtering out the results of what became known as Black Monday. When the results had been analysed, it was clear that the situation was bad. Really bad. Mein Gott. Ooh, that's a lot of dissent, and a lot of lost efficiency. So industry's going to take a big turn for the worst. There we go, huge turn for the worst. But work will continue on building these infantry divisions. We do need more. We can never be without more infantry divisions, as we need to hold our line. Right, run on the banks. German citizens, panicked by the collapse of the Berlin stock market, are rushing into the banks to withdraw their assets. The banks cannot afford to give out such sums, and many are in danger of collapse. It appears that German government legislation is urgently needed. Right, so we could close the banks temporarily. We could guarantee the holdings of private individuals. That's going to cost us money. We can guarantee their rights. Right, France shows its two-face. The Reds are clearly set to spread the poison, as they have shown during the last session of International. Ooh dear. Going to need more currency. Going to need allies. February 10th. The remilitarization of Alentania. I could do with more divisions over here, in all honesty. We're going to need everything. Right, they can make landfall here. Not here. They could, but we need to try and have Denmark. Their independence is guaranteed by me. Actually, it's only Rostock as well that they can land at. Lübeck, no. Danzig and Königsberg. The Black Week comes to an end. The situation didn't get better following the Black Monday, which was the start of what became known as the Black Week. Panic selling of stocks reached all-time high, as people tried to get rid of their stocks before they became worthless. When the Berlin stock market closed at the end of the week, 11 major economic figures in Germany had committed suicide, and the market was as good as dead. The German government had to act. Do nothing. Let the market recover. So that would take us towards free market. Or we can go the opposite way and advance towards central planning. Now... we lose industrial efficiency either way, but that basically dictates whether we go one way or another. I think we'll go towards central planning. Right, the oil Oblesti. After Romania's defeat in the Weltkrieg, we were promised control of the rich oil fields of Oblesti. Our spies report, however, that the current dictator, Colonial, is about to nationalize the oil fields with the current crisis. Though any attempt to stop him would spark fears of war and drive away capital, reckon us financially. What should we do? Arrange an incident. There's a good chance it could happen. There's a good chance it might not happen. Could bribe ministers and offer promises. Could try to kill him. I could do nothing. We'll bribe ministers and offer promises. There we go, February 10th. I need allies. That's not really a good chance. It's fairly good. No. Son of a bitch. I am jumping the gun a little bit here, but I do need allies. I need them right bloody now. Okay. Let's go check on the colonies. I love the fact that they do not join me. Actual digs. SMS Ludendorff. Okay. So we're going to leave you here. There's not much fear down here in Asia anyway. So what I'm going to do... Well, there's going to be a lot of revolt risk. Actually, no, we seem okay. Sweet. There's a lot of revolt risk here. Basically, what I want to do is pick up forces. Like Marines could be quite handy to have. A few ships out here. A few planes as well. Are these naval bombers? Right, naval bomber and interceptor wing. These naval bombers will be very, very handy to have. Especially if we come to having to fight the Union of Britain's navy. So I'll have them rebase over here. Okay, let's keep on passing out the army. Okay. Just move them out from here for the moment. Okay, we can issue more currency, which we will. This is obviously hurting our industrial efficiency, but honestly, I need allies. Right. Romanians have nationalized the Palesti oil fields. Damn it. We do get some money, however. Well, that's a shame. He'll get his end. I need my allies. Okay, Afghanistan has declared war upon Delhi. Right, relinquish control of you. Launch of the Reichswagen. Yeah. That'll do nicely. Chances have risen, but I'm going to go around and influence first. I want it quite high, so I'm not wasting my time or money. It costs me a lot to offer. Yeah, it's about the same. There we go, early anti-tank artillery. Attrition modifier. That will be handy. The defensive. Fine, let's go with offensive offensive doctrine. That's the best we can get. Bloomberg. We do need to gather the navy. Mostly in Europe. Okay, so at least we're going to have another headquarters in Europe. 2 Marines. They could be quite useful in the future. Okay. Aerial supremacy. Need to get things going well. March 14th. I would try to influence the Italians, but honestly, I'd rather have something of certainty. Okay, so Middle Africa has declared war upon Portugal. That's fine. They're going to enlarge their colonies. Hopefully they do well. Right, commissioned the Z-89, Z-93, Z-97 and Z-100. New warships are now available to join our high seas fleet. These vessels do much to improve our security and allow us to better project our influence and goodwill across the globe. Right, sweet. You need to be over here, mate. Ba-bam, bam, 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 ba-da. Move you over here. So we have a hell of a lot of battle cruisers. Jesus Christ, these are battleships. My lord. That's a lot of battleship, man. Then battle cruisers over here. Okay. So we do have some carriers here. We do have only that one. And then CVEs. Not very good.